Hi folks, don't know if you can see that. I'm flashing away. It's the 6th of May and it's around 11 o'clock and the cat's in the way. I'm just going to see if I can enlarge it. See it flashing. And there's one above there, but I won't be able to pick it up. I know, I've just tried. Okay, when carry on as we did yesterday. I spoke about Earth. Okay, and we spoke about Earth has previously been civilizations on Earth being destroyed by negative entities. And this time round, that's not going to happen. The way they can't destroy Earth, simple as that. They can't do it this time round. What's happening? You've seen for yourself, especially in the UK, especially with my age group. I can't see, so it might go walk into it. The politicians and civil society, and I know every generation says this, seems to sort of like it's getting worse. Society's getting, it's not as good as it used to be. Sorry about that moving around. And it's true. But this is a plan. What's been going on and if you're in the UK or in the US, I don't even follow politics, but you know that it's sort of like the evolution of Earth is happening by negative beings who want us to go to our lowest emotional states as possible, because they know this is going to happen. This is a cycle in Earth's history. It's not just affecting Earth, it's affecting other planets in our galaxy as well, in our solar system. And that's why the negative entities as well won't be able to leave Earth, because if they do, they will destroy, attempt to go into another planet and attempt to destroy it. So that's why they're on Earth. And I don't just mean physically when I say that negative entities are on Earth. They're not just physical beings, dimensional beings as well. So dimensionally, they're stuck. Okay, dimensionally, they can't go anywhere except in their energetic field. And the Earth, our politicians and everything else, I wish people would realise that they don't give a shit about you. They actually don't, and they haven't for many, many, many thousands of years. Okay, but this is the time. I'm trying to slow down, so did you get that? Did you get that? Stop thinking that Johnson cares about you. Okay, and I do talk about the Labour as well. And there's no such thing as two parties anymore. There's a group of people that think that they're part of a system, part of a secret plan to control Earth, to control the plebs of Earth, just saying that's us. And they've been given sort of like, apparently, they haven't got any extra knowledge like Freemasons, or whatever group, because not all of them are Freemasons, but the Freemasons are involved in this. Okay, like they're involved in my targeting. Freemasons are involved with this, and other nefarious groups are involved as well. And it's to control the plebs, the masses. And if we do it energetically, the way I'm being targeted is they are looking, sort of somehow, I don't know how it's done, but trying to get into my energetic field, into my aura. So you'll see posts where you comment that side, that YouTube post, where I've said all the outside my door, like the dog, when I said I've got a recording when I blocked the camera standing outside my door. And when I've said to you as well, can you hear them in the background? That's them in the background. They've got to be constant in my field. I've got to keep my energy. I've got to keep my attention, because it's not easy to get into somebody's getting somebody's aura, especially if they're so unlike you. I can't stand them fucking vile. I started swearing. I'm not even 5 minutes in. Just got 5 minutes. Anyway, yes. So the Earth and the negative being. So we've been conned. So they've been conned. Our prime ministers and the people who are part of this plan who think that they're going to be saved and not going to be saved. They've just food for the entities. When I say Earth um, is run by alien agendas, it is run by alien agendas and negative alien beings, parasites that feed off our misery. Okay, um, that's the way how we've been portrayed through thousands and thousands of years. But it's changing now, and it's changed now. People like me, and I'm not saying I'm being myself up because there's far more people awakening now. It's not just me. I won't even say I'm awakening because I've gone off the sort of new age crap chat that you get on YouTube. You just That's like it's saying to you, sort of go to your clan. If you want to be have contact, your clan is waiting for you. Baba, your clan is waiting for you to get in contact. They want you to get in contact. They want you to grow. Um, there's people like me all over the world saying the same thing. The governments, look how long I've been doing this, folks. Not one person has come and knocked on my door and says, "Oh, are you talking to the UFOs?" Not one person. One because I'm being targeted, and one because the governments are trying to hush us up. This will never come out. I keep saying this, and I know people say you've repeated this, but once you realise how much we've been lied to and how docile they've made us, and they made us so docile, because they understand humanity has been around for thousands of years before we have on their planet or wherever it be in their dimension. So they've been studying humans and got us down to a T. And they've been aware that we have a spiritual side, so that's why religions were created. But in the religions, most religions on earth, there is a part where it's sort of like forgive your enemies, or to be quite docile, or you're linked to your abuse, you're linked to your pain, or this is happening because it's your life plan, and after you've gone through this, whatever hardships you've gone through, you're supposed to learn from it. I've learned from it. That's not true at all. That's a load of crap, and that's been fed by the negative entity. So we don't fight back. You don't realise how much power we've got. And when I say the creature beasts have to keep standing, the creature beasts that are protecting the fucking nonce, that have to keep going on and on and on and on, have been near me and sort of constantly get my attention for the last 6 years, because they have to do that. They know if they stop for one day or stop for 1 week, or sometimes one of them, I see catch one of them, and they're so rancid that they actually make me feel sick. So that's another thing. And I'm not being, anybody that knows me from my adult life knows I don't speak like this. If I say somebody makes me feel sick, it's not because that's how I speak. I'm trying to say, and to be as real as possible. Like I said yesterday, you're going to see them and you're going to be revolted by them. You might have a friend or somebody like an acquaintance who you feel a bit dodgy about. Next time, or after a while, I don't know when, I don't know how far people are in touch with their own selves and who's watching this. But there's going to come a time, if they're linked to a creature beast, you're going to feel revulsion. And if you're a human being, original human, you're going to feel revulsion being in their presence, because their energy is not human. They don't come. Another thing as well, the new age. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go about the earth and how it's created. The new age community will have you believe that we're all energy. So either the negative beings and the positive beings, we all come from the same energy. And that's true. Everything is energy. but the negative beings and the creature beast. And when I say creature beast, I'm trying to think. Okay, but in Jamaica we call them bad mind. People are just bad and wicked and cause all type of pain. Or in the sort of like psychological terms, it would be sort of narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths, that kind of thing. But I can't be bothered to go on, lump them all together. So just call them I call them creature beasts. You name what you want. But their only purpose in life is to cause pain to others, and they get often causing pain to others. Okay. I've got my train of thought now. Anyway, we don't come from the same energy. We've been told, especially in the New Age community, that we all come from the same energy, and that even the most rotten and most disgusting of human beings, and the most enlightened, the most loving and thoughtful and caring human beings are on the same. We're part of the same spectrum. We're not at all. Their energy from the creature beast doesn't belong on Earth. Okay, they're not part of Earth. When I see the creature beast, I saw one today. So I see one, so I have to go past, like I said, every day. I want to see them now. The energy, their aura is black. It's like a mist. Their aura is black. Okay, the energy that's coming into Earth, and I can see that the distance between how wide their aura is, how black their aura is, because the rays that are coming into Earth as natural magnetic energy, we're in it all the time. Even if you're not aware of it, we are in it all the time. It's magnetic energy doesn't touch them. They're so fucking far gone in the abyss, in their energy, that the rays coming down, they block the sun. I swear to God, they block the sun. When you look at them, when you glance, there's just blackness, and then you realise it's a human, in inverted commas, in this cloud of blackness, and sometimes you see them with the entity attached. That's sort of like to the right hand side of them. Sometimes you don't. It's just blackness, a cloud, and the energy of Earth doesn't touch them at all. Full stop. It doesn't. So I'd say about 2 meters, 3 meters. I'm glad with the social distancing, so I'll judge it by that. Doesn't touch them. Okay, and I know it's just they were talking about the children that evolved with these creature beasts, and they will involve the children because they see this as a war. Okay, it's us against them. That's how one of the creature beasts put it to me, and it's not all they've lost. So I'm going to stop there and make it very clear they have lost the war. Can anybody see that? Okay, and what we're dealing with now is like I said yesterday, is the aftermath of that. And they've lost the war energetically. I told you about the moon, and they've lost the war in the realms of, I don't know, dimensions. I think the best way to say it. I don't even know. But they've lost the war. Whatever battle was going on, we Earthlings, our creators, have won. Okay. If you want to call it God, if you want to call them whatever, created beings, they have won. Our creators and creators have won. See that? Woohoo! Anyway, like I said yesterday, they destroyed Earth previously. It's not going to happen this time. They're too scared to do anything. They can't leave Earth. So what they do, they're just feeding off the creature beast. Okay, so anybody that shares the same energy of them, like I told you yesterday, I keep saying this, but it's not just the dog at number 30, the dog portal at number 30, but all of them, they're, whatever's on them, whatever darkness is on them, has increased. And soon, because this, I'm dying to name a politician. I've already named him, I can't stand Corbyn. Another thing as well, what's happening now on Earth, they're getting people that apparently who are odds with each other. Um, so you'll get a racist and a black guy speaking eloquently, you don't know his name, and you'll notice they're always seen to be in the press at the same time. Okay, um, lately there's been some division in society, and they've planted this. Okay, so when you see um, a racist instance, so to speak, two things happen. One, as black people, we naturally, um, especially if it's the death of a child or a young, we identify with them. So it's like a psychological reminder, it's like a little jolt to our psyche that this person has died, has been murdered, and it's normally murdered. Okay, um, if you're a woman, if you hear about a woman getting killed, um, or raped or whatever, that's a jolt to a psyche as well. As women, especially if you can identify with the woman, as parents, this is how it goes. So it's called something in psychology. I can't remember now, but we identify, and they know that. So the creature beasts know that. So they'll set up situations, and they set up people to act in the situation. So Desmond Jadu, if you want an example, he's supposed to be a race activist, okay, but he's working for the police. Yes, he is, little fucker. Um, and then he will, something was, I'll give you an example, something was in the paper where Black Harris apparently said to a policeman, something about, a policeman was in his house doing some searches for something or other, and the policeman sort of joked, oh, you look, I didn't shoot you. Do you know about the things about the shooters, black men? And the guy at the time, laughed. I think he found it funny as well. That's how I read it in the paper. He found it funny. But he said that later, he felt a bit of way about it, so he complained to the paper or something, and to the police, his inspectors. Um, so that's when Jesus says in the paper, um, no, we shouldn't be having, the police, it's a blah, blah, blah. The police shouldn't, even be making jokes like that. It's disgusting. And, it said in the paper, black people can never ever relax because there's threats made against life. And then it was sort of on another case where this guy at his workplace was being racially abused. And it sort of said in the paper, this is such a situation. This situation, have been race attacks have got worse over the years. It's not getting better. It's getting worse, and I don't know what the answer is, and blah blah blah. I want everybody to know that some of these, especially with him, it's all set up. So it's a psychological setup. So as a black person, you read it, you think, oh God, and it causes you that anxiety. Okay, and that's just one example. I could do it for women as well. Um, it's all set up, and the two sides are working together to create anxiety um, towards a general group in the civilization in society. Okay, I saw an Asian woman to follow on Twitter, um, and she was like saying all this abuse, like people calling the P word and go back to where you come from and blah blah blah, and it was all set up. See that? It was all set up to cause anxiety. You think, oh God, even Asian communities getting still, they're still the act of being attacked and not being able to speak out in social media and be proud of stuff. Everything was all set up. There's so many coons, I'm calling them, involved. Don't think because you identify with someone that they're not working with your enemy. Okay? It's all set up. Everything now is to get a reaction out of a specific group in society. Very rarely will you see a true story come out. Very rarely. Unless that true story fits in with the paper or society's narrative, what they want to send, messages they want to send out to their community. Okay, so this is what's going to happen now. It'll be constant. We'll be constantly gaslighted. We'll be constantly. If it's not the Rona, it's going to be something else, where you disconnect from each other. Because they've seen it. This has happened. This couldn't work out how people behaved and the psychological abuse and fuckery that they played and how they could trick people. That would, sort of, I'll give them a round of applause. Give them a round of applause. May not have done it themselves, but the way they got the gaslight people, the psychological tricks they used, and people rushing to get the jab. Bravo, bravo. What else is going to happen? So there's things that's going to happen to try to lower our vibrations constantly on Earth. Okay, because Earth is a physical place, even though they've lost on the higher realms. The cat's just jumped on there. Papa. Mm-hmm. Okay, see one or two. Okay. No. Okay. You're rude. Earth, like I said, Earth was destroyed before. It won't be destroyed again. It's not going to happen. Okay. Their children. So you want to say something, you don't want to say anything. Baba, move out the way. I think that's her trying to be. Don't go into that subject, but I'm going to say one thing and I want my family to confirm it, and then I'll just leave it alone. Baba, what's this? Anyway, Baba, what's this? What's this? Baba. There you go. No, I've got nothing. Okay. There's quite a few of them, the undercover police officers, not just undercover police, but there's quite a few of the dregs as well that got children involved in this targeting scheme. They've got children involved because this is not just me. I know you might have heard think it's just happening to me. It's not. There's other people that they're targeting, especially women. And they've got the children involved. And like I said at the beginning, what they told me at the beginning, that they see this as a war. And that's why they've got the children involved. And you don't know how disgusted, not just me, but other beings, other species of beings at that. And this is how stupid they are. And because they know that the children have got entity attachments, this is how inhuman these creatures are. They may look human, but they're not. They let the children involved, for one, knowing that they're tapping into negative energies, they're tapping into a dark realm. One of them, I've actually seen entities on all the children around here. Not all the children around here, rephrase that. And all the children that are linked to the creature beast. Even a baby, one of them was pregnant. Because they make out that the couples and the friends, one of them was pregnant and I saw a shadow over her stomach. So while the baby was in the womb, I saw a shadow over its stomach, and I think I broke somewhere else, not on here, this part, of the YouTube channel. But when the baby was born, an entity was attached. The entity is attached to a baby, so a demon is attached to that baby. Okay, um, a few months ago as well, I said this yesterday. The entities that attach to the creature beast um, have no interest in me at all. They shy away. Except this entity that was attached to this baby actually looked directly at me and kind of smirked, little fucker. Um, and that's the only time an entity has sort of done anything like that, anything even remotely as defiant as that. Literally looked at, and I was at the kitchen window. They were walking past, and they're just like chatting as I do, making sure I see them. And the entity that was attached to the baby, because it's like an overlay, that child's going to have that for the rest of its life. It's not, even when it's dead, actually, I said, well, otherwise the rest of its life. The entity attached to it just looked directly at me, sort of turned the head, like in horror films, and they sort of slowly turned around and looked me in the eyes. And the baby, the infant, I was told not to call them babies, because it's not a baby, it's not a child. Smirked at me. I could see the two lights. And when I said my family sort of instructed me, and that was the worst thing about this, is the children that are involved and how they use the children. For me, I just can't get my head around, especially when they know that child rapists are with them as well. Yeah, there's loads of child rape, child molestation, shit with these creatures, loads of it, and they are actually child molesters. I'm not shitting you up. I'm not saying it to think who is a weirdo. There are actual child molesters involved in this, and the police are aware. Like I'm saying, this is coming from the police and the council, and they know this. Wasn't going to go to that subject actually, but yeah, I just want to point that out, and my family to confirm it, that they are actually not just rapists like Paul Burgess, adult rapists that are into raping adults. There are child rapists involved. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So the entity on this child spoke to me, and that's the first time that like I suggest that any entities or anything remotely acknowledged me. Well, there was someone acknowledged me and moved away. I've got told anyway. Not going to go into that. So yeah, but we've got nothing to fear. If you're not like them, if you're not bad mind, you've got nothing to fear. Quickly moving on. The earth won't be destroyed. The reason why we are all going to be connected to our clan is because our energies are increasing. It's not just me. It's not just a few of us. I think there's a thing about 144. 140? 140. I don't know. Million. I suppose that's wrong. Most of humanity, the people we see around us, if they want to, if they're not preoccupied with just surviving, are going to have contact, and that's why, because the energies have changed, and we are going to have contact with our soul group. And the whole point of living this life is just to experience it, not to be sort of a mastermind of something, but just to live, just to experience what living on Earth is like. And then when we die, hopefully as well, that's what is intended. We will go back to our clan. We'll go back to the group or ancestors, whatever you like to call them, came from. We'll go back to them. Okay, or yeah, say that. Or we can go. Depends how our soul progresses to a higher dimension. But also, we as humans, this is a choice. This is a choice everybody's going to make and has made. Depends on your age, obviously. You can choose. You've got a choice. I have to go back to your clan, or in this life, link yourself to the creature beast. and it is a choice. As there's going to be people say, no, it's not a choice, people can't help it, what's a bad childhood, blah, 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 blah. This is a choice. This time on earth, you have a choice how you behave, the energy that you link yourself to. Okay, we don't have to. Humans, which are not original humans, do not need a law to tell them not to rape children. We don't need the law because we won't do it. It's not in our head. It's not in our psyche. Okay, the laws were created because of the negative beings, and it's law. So they know that it's law, logically. Okay, they may not feel it physically or in their psyche. They might think, oh, we're wrong. Most of them do actually. It depends. The sex offenders come in different shapes and forms. But said there's laws there. People know when they're doing right and when they're doing wrong. And if you're causing pain to others, if you think you're more superior to others, you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay for that. So people are gonna have a choice. Okay. It's nothing to do with their upbringing. It's to do with their energy and who they are, and what they choose to be and how they choose to act. That will determine if they go back to their clan, their family, or they go to the abyss, they go to hell. And I can't say this enough, it is a choice. I know in this case, I'm the creature beast in my situation. They take no responsibility for their actions. They're feeling sorry for themselves because I haven't fucking died or cracked up. Can you believe it? And anybody knows that's been in contact with narcissists or sort of people that show psychopathic traits will know that's what they're like. They've got no logic, they've got nothing. How they live their life, how they seek pleasure is to cause pain to others. And when they can't do that, they get upset. And this is what the creature beasts are like now. And it's sort of helped their case that I've got extra higher beings helping me. But they take no responsibility for their actions. But everybody, all of us, all original humans, have got a choice. Or not even, yes, we have got a choice how we live, but also they've got a choice how they live. They know it's wrong. They know rape is wrong. They know what they're doing to me is wrong, because if they were sort of like confident in what they were doing, the cats just jumped on there. Be very open about it. Baba, and soon will be. Another thing that's been said as well. You'll know when society has just reached the limit, and the creature beasts are telling us take over. What's this? Can't do that anymore. There we go. A politician or somebody won't even bother. Do you know, sort of like on television, and they don't give you the correct answer anyway, but bullshit around, waffle on. But when you notice politicians just shake shoulders, just shrug the shoulders about a question, you know they feel so confident. You know, we're sort of like that guy, that like a piece of cunt that laid in the House of Commons just lying down. That's it. They're showing us their contempt for us. They literally are showing us. Anyway, so I think I've gone over this. I think I've gone over the subjects. Reincarnation. Yes, we can reincarnate. Reincarnate. I don't know if the cat should be using. Papa, what's this? What's this? I might have to get a treat, folks. Papa, it's not in the. Papa. Yeah, but do reincarnate. Baba, we'll just wait till Royal Highness jumps off. Okay, I paused it. She's not jumping off anytime soon. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here, and then, yeah, I'm not going to, there's certain subjects I want to keep on and on at, and certain subjects I'm just going to, I'll say one or two sentences, and then I'll just leave it. So next time, hopefully, we'll talk about I'll talk about reincarnation and see what they say about it. That we do reincarnate as humans, not as animals. But there's other things also to do as well. So I'm going to leave it here for now. Bye. Thank you, family.